Hey there, everyone. I'm Andres Escobar, sales and marketing strategist and creator of Review Biz. And in this video, I'm going to show you the three aspects of marketing and reviews and how they work together.
I think most people understand the importance of online reviews, but let's make sure we're on the same page. There's tons of people out there that are already doing marketing. Why do they need reviews if they haven't been focusing on them?
Right. So if they're doing marketing, that's fantastic. Like, don't stop doing that. That is the core of marketing. Don't Whatever you're doing. And so you can be marketing for, getting followers, subscribers like we just did, getting leads. So depending what you're marketing for, that's awesome. What reviews becomes is a supplemental way to convert your marketing efforts, right?
Yes.
So you're either going to attract or detract. So I have a referral partner. This guy, he sells CRM to gyms, and we partnered up with him. And so one of his new customers has a 2.2 rating on Google, and he's like, "You need to talk to this guy." I'm like, "Yeah, what's wrong? Well, how did he get here? Like, what's the problem? Like, you're gonna get leads for him, and they're gonna see his reviews and be like, no, I don't want anything to do with this guy,
Nope.
And so we just become that little catalyst that's going to help them fill out that form, click the button, or whatever it is that you're looking to do with marketing, just to take them over the other side and just convert. And then once you've got them in your place of business, on the demo call, whatever it is that you're doing, that first level, then you can actually talk about your reviews. Yeah, people love us, Nate. The reason why they love us and this and that, you can see that in our reviews, and that's going to help you close a sale.
Yeah.
And that's huge. That's huge. And so you don't really have to do a lot of training your sales folks, because you can just show them your reviews and why people love you, and more about your company because of the reviews. So that's why I think everyone needs reviews, and not just one or two or five. You need hundreds, if not thousands of reviews, because it's an ongoing thing. If you don't have a review for the last year, even if you don't have a review for the last 2 months, you'd be like, why don't they have, do they not? How many customers are they seeing a month?
Right.
Are they really in business?
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting reviews is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process.
Yes. Right.
The other thing that I think that's really important to understand with reviews, the way I define marketing is marketing is getting someone who has a need or a problem you can solve to know, like, and trust you.
Right.
And reviews help with that like and trust part. People make, there's all kinds of statistics out there. You and I both know this, Andres, that, I don't know how many percentage of people make buying decisions based on reviews, but it is really high.
Really high. Yeah.
Whether you're selling products or services, I just went through and I had to get a painter for a rental property that I have. And what did I do? I went online. I typed in Denver Paint, interior painting. I looked at who came up. I did not look at the organic search results. I looked at the map search results, because map search shows the reviews. And there are 3 people in map search. The first thing I looked at was how many reviews they had and what their rating was. Then from there, I went and I looked at their websites. Did I like their websites? Did I like what they were saying? Okay, cool. And then what did I start doing? I started calling. Yeah. Did they pick up the phone and talk to me? Did I have to leave a message? If I had to leave a message, I didn't leave a message. I called the next person. So I called 3 people. I scheduled quotes and I went from there. But the reviews played a role in whether I chose to actually call or not.
Can I give some advice on this call? Because I'll tell you, right there is super key.
Yeah.
Right. So how did those 3 show up? And the reason and how they showed up is, one, because of the keywords in their name. So the keywords in the Google My Listing Maps is super important. Number 2, in the area, the location, right?
Yep.
So that's number 2. Number 3 is reviews.
Yes.
It helps you pop up more. And people's like, well, how come this one isn't there? Well, it's a couple of combinations and it's an algorithm that plays. But the more reviews you have, the better chances you are to be up top. And that's going to help you convert as well. And so that's super. So, but local, the name and reviews help you get found more. Actually, the reviews, when you look at the words used by your customers, those become
that helps too.
Keywords. Actually, that I'm going to say before the actual review, like the rating or the volume, is those keywords that your customers use. So let your customers create content for you.
Yes.
Why would you have to figure out, okay, what am I going to talk about this week? Or, actually let your customers tell you why they like you, and then talk about that and let them be that user generated content. It's an actual term. You can look it up.
Yeah.
User generated content.
That's a really important point to pull out here. The quality and quantity of reviews you have is a weighting factor in whether you show up in local search results. So, what percentage that is, it depends on who you talk to, but it is a weighting factor. They are important. So super, super important to keep that in mind.
And next, we're going to talk about how many reviews you need for your business.
Dig into this.
Yeah.
How many online reviews should a company have to be considered good? And I'm going to preface this by saying, my guess is it kind of depends on what niche you're in and where your competitors are at. But let's dig into this.
Yeah, honestly, that is the key right there. Like, that's when you want to take a look and compare to your competition, right? So how can you stand out from your competition? And that is the key. Like, okay, so if your competition has 5 or 10 reviews, and that's basically, and you're looking in your whole area and you're even like expanding out and you're like, they got about 15, it's the best one. Oh man, you're going to be standing out with 50.
Yes.
50 is going to be great.
Yeah.
And so but is that okay? Are you okay with settling for 50? And that's funny because I was talking about this earlier. It's like, you got to know you're happy where you are, but you want to get more. And the reason why, because somebody else is going to come up behind you.
Yeah.
And it's going to take your place. Because if you're not constantly getting those reviews, then someone's going to take your place. They just need to hire a company like us that can really drive the generation part is super important. So, I've seen reviews, with gyms. We focus a lot of our clients are gyms.
Yeah.
And big box gyms have 300 plus reviews. So if you're a boutique gym and you only have 50 reviews, well, that's okay. And you're like, oh, I don't really compete because that's a different clientele. I'm like, that's cool, but it's a gym. It's still a gym.
Yeah.
And so do you want to stand out and then take away their business? Like that's the goal. That's the idea is like, stand out from your competition. So that way you actually get a chance at bat.
Yeah.
Now that might not be the ideal customer for you, but at least you get the chance at bat. At least you get that call. At least you get the opportunity for them to fill out a form, get a free trial or a free downloadable document, whatever it is that you want to offer. Give that opportunity to that. Get that opportunity by having those reviews. And so so it's recency. You got to have recent reviews, the volume of reviews, and the ratings.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 criteria you want to take a look at when you're looking at your competition and seeing where they're at and where you're at, and then how do I get there? And so we'll talk about the process and things of like that nature. But yeah.
Yeah. So do you, with companies like yours, you make it super easy for them to manage this process, but is there like a volume of customers that you look for each month where it makes sense? Like somebody who, like, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody that's working with like, a handful of clients a month, there's not a lot of volume there. You can pretty easily manage that with, your email marketing software and sending people, some automated emails to request reviews. Do you guys look for clients that have a certain amount of volume each month where it's going to make sense to work with somebody like ReviewBiz?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I've done it all, right? I've done it, well, not done it all, but I've done it with our platform with different clientele. So if you have, let's say you're good with getting three customers, a handful of customers, like you just said, you know, it's not ideal to have a platform like us. And the reason why is because we're reaching out to your past customers, but we're also reaching out to your future customers. And so we want to get a review from them as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Give them some time
Yeah.
to experience, and they've trusted you, they purchased your product or service. Give them some time, and then reach out for review. And the timing part of it is something that we talk about with our onboarding process. And then, but if you're not getting, I would say, 15 or more customers per month, new customers per month, then it's not like, and that's like the cost. That's
Yeah.
that's the edge. You want, I have customers that get, 30 to 50 new customers a month. That's like perfect. That's great because, and they ask me how many. At the end of our onboarding, we talk about, what does success look like to you? What do you think we're going to be able to get you? And so they say, oh, you're going to give us 90% of my new customers, you'll be able to get us reviews. I had a client do that. I'm like, no, we're not going to get 90% of your customers to leave a review.
Yes.
I mean, that's totally impossible. Like I want a 90% conversion rate. No, that's almost nothing is that.
What do you guys typically see?
We see 10 to 20%
Okay.
of the people that we're reaching out to leave a review.
Yeah.
And texting is part of it, right? And so we're doing email and texting, and the timing and the way we do it. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I have 3 years in the texting industry, and I learned a lot. And so learned the different strategies and different ways to do it. And you'd be surprised. You think it's so simple. It's actually SMS stands for simple messaging service.
Yeah.
But in marketing, it can be complicated. And if you're not doing it right, you can get a slap in the wrist, or you can annoy somebody. So that's my 2 cents there.
I like that. So 10 to 20% is a good range for people to shoot for. Let's make sure you've got realistic expectations here.
That's it. Manage expectations. That's how we keep our relationships in good standings.
Yeah.
So.
Last but not least, we're going to show you how to handle negative reviews.
This is awesome stuff, Andre. So let me ask you this, because this is one of the most common questions that I get when I talk about online reviews is, how do we handle negative reviews? Because look, none of us are perfect. Negative reviews are going to happen. Sometimes there's just people that like to complain, and they're just going to complain no matter what the hell you do. So how do we handle negative reviews in a proper manner?
Man, that's so good. I love that question, because people need to get out of reviews being a bad thing. It's not. It's really not a bad thing. It's giving you insight into your business, and you really need to address and pivot and figure out whether it's that person's the problem or it's you're the problem. And you really got to get out of yourself. And the ego is a big issue. And I'm not judging anybody. I got it too. Like, you got to figure out, okay, they're just unhappy for whatever reason. And so how do you handle negative reviews? Well, we have a template. So we have, I recommend having a non-emotional, non-feeling template for negative reviews. And you basically have, 10 different ways to answer negative reviews. And you can just cipher around, and it's a template. You don't have to use it word by word. You can use it. Okay, I like this one, and then adjust it to respond to that. Respond to everything. Respond. Yes. I have customers that have, 10 reviews, and I was like, respond right now, respond to those right now. Like, do that. And then moving forward, continue to respond. Our platform allows you to respond in app. So that's really cool. You don't have to go a different place. You can actually hire somebody or give that hat to somebody in your office to just log into our platform, or if you're doing it, you don't want our platform, fine, no worries, it's okay. But you should have somebody reply to every single review. And so it gives you insight. Handling with, a template is super important. And then reach out to that person. It's a customer that's leaving you a review.
Yes.
You need to reach out to them and figure out how you guys can turn that bad review into a good review. So they can actually go back and change their rating and change their words.
I've seen people do that.
Yeah. So don't be afraid. But address it as fast as possible. It's like, hey, how do you handle a bullet wound? Well, you got to attend to it right away.
Yes.
It's a bullet wound. You don't let it linger.
I want to pull out a couple things here that you mentioned, because I think they're really important and people could easily gloss over these. One, respond to all your reviews. Super, super important. I mean, it just shows that you're proactive, and most people don't do it. So that's another way to differentiate yourself from your competitors. When they see that you're responding to your reviews, they're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Second,
they care. That's
yes,
like
they
that.
care.
That gives them that
they care.
feeling.
And nobody expects us to be perfect. So when you respond to a negative review, whether it's, I love your suggestion about using some type of template, because you don't want to get emotional.
Yeah. The
way I've always, recommended people handle it is, respond with your template or your canned response, whatever it is, and take it offline. Right. Hey, I'm so sorry that we fell short. We do everything we can. Please reach out to us. Give them an email. Give them a phone number. We'll do everything we can to resolve your issue, and drop it. Yeah. That's all people want to know is, if you drop the ball, are you going to do something about it? Because we've all been in that situation where it's like, we paid somebody, we weren't happy, and it's crickets. And it's like, dude, that is so lousy. But if you respond to those negative reviews, you respond to your positive reviews, that gives them a comfort level and a trust level where they're like, hey, if they drop the ball, they're going to do what they need to do to take care of it.
Yeah. Respond right away. And that's super important. Like do the digital response that you can do from the reviews, and then call them. And you're like, oh, I want to call them. Well, what if you don't get a hold of them? What if you're going to wait for that? No, what can you control? You can control your response. Right? Yes. And then call them, email them. And if they get back to you, great. If not, well, then at least you responded. You got that done and over with.
You've done what you can do.
You've done what you could do. Is what you need to control. That's it. Yeah. And so, you're not asking this question, but I'm going to give you this feedback.
Sure.
To me, a 4.8 rating is super awesome. Like better than a 5.0.
Yes.
It's real, authentic. It makes sense. Like, okay, yeah, they're not perfect, but they're really close to perfect. And you feel comfortable with that, I think.
Yeah. Well, to add on that, because I agree with you, those negative reviews actually lend credibility to all your other reviews, because nobody expects you to be perfect. So, if you have 1,000 reviews and you have a 5-star rating, people are going to be like, dude, this is BS. This is not accurate. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. So negative reviews are not a bad thing, as you touched on. One, it's a way to learn. Two, if you're getting too many negative reviews, like that person you said who has a 2.2 rating, man, you have other issues in your business that you need to address and fix, because you should not be getting that many negative reviews.
Yeah, that's a problem. And that's like you're literally bleeding out and your limb is missing. So it's like, come on, you need to do something. You need a medic beyond the medic. You need a surgeon.
Yes. Yeah, you got to fix these problems. And then worry about what you're going to do with your reviews.
As always, I want you to attract your ideal customer with reviews. I also want you to stand out from your competition with your reputation. And I want you to convert more leads because of the trust you built online. But most importantly, I want you to strive for progress, not perfection. Together, we will make impact.
Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit the like button. That's the thumbs up in the bottom right hand corner. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way we'll keep you up to date with all the latest changes with Google and other online listing directories, and how you can become the clear choice in your local area. Thank you so much.